In the previous game on match day 8 in the Ghana Premier League, when Hearts of Oak defeated that is Basake Holy Stars by 2-1. Benjamin Asare made a huge error that led to a penalty for Basake Holy Stars, and the video surfaced on social media. A lot of people criticizing him, thinking that he doesn't have enough quality to feature for the Black Stars. So I directly asked Henry Asante-Trum on Monday night on Sports Station, he's the GFA Communications Director, about that particular error and if that brings a lot of concern, noting that he has been the #1 for the Black Stars in a while. And Henry Asante-Trum, of course, defended Benjamin Asare, stating that mistakes are actually part of the game.
Ball mistakes are bound to happen. Whatever happens on the pitch, the fans become agitated, and sometimes we even want to go to the extent of, going for the head of the player. But they have coaches. I think he is working with a very experienced coach in Mashudidi Dramani. Whatever he has done for himself must not be taken for granted. Before the 2 goals against Bibiani Gold Stars, he had gone 5 games without conceding. Mm-hmm. And then yesterday he conceded against Basake Holy Stars, and even they won. He is the leader of the team. He's done so well by bringing Hearts of Oak this far. Before the start of the season, there were many who doubted the quality and the ability of Hearts of Oak this season. A lot of people may have predicted, not necessarily for Hearts of Oak to win the league. I think Benjamin will learn from his mistakes. I don't think it is time for Hearts of Oak fans to panic. These things happen. All the top goalkeepers in the world, all the top players in the world, they make mistakes. 1 mistake in 8 matches is nothing. The most important thing is how he is able to recover. And having worked with him for the last 6, 7, 8 months, I know he's mentally tough. He listens to advice, he's very open and assertive, and he will pick lessons from some of these errors. It is not a sign of worry or whatsoever. I believe he will bounce back. I believe he have the capacity, the competence, and the ability to get back to where we all know him to be. Let's not also forget that sometimes when players hit that limelight and they seem to have that attention and the focus is on them, they become the talking point. Mentally, a lot goes on. So 1 mistake may lead to a goal, and the fans obviously will come at you. Today the media will definitely come at you. But that's how you build a good material in sports. You learn from your mistake, you pick up from the pieces, and you move on. And I believe he will make something good out of it.
Indeed, encouraging words from Mr. Asante, right? So that's really wonderful. And a bit about you learn from your mistakes, so you're making progress with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's part of the game. I think nobody is perfect. You're human. You can make mistakes. It happens. Even during the weekend, a goalkeeper who has received a Yasin trophy, that is for the best goalkeeper in the world, made a costly mistake against Liverpool and Salah scored. So it's a normal part of the game.
Yeah, but beyond him, there's also Semenyo, who is speaking about what issues exactly.
So Antoine Semenyo, plays for Bournemouth, of course, has been on fire this season. He has been praising his head coach, that is Raiola, who has helped Bournemouth to a very good start this season and has trusted Semenyo enough to become a key component of the team. Of course, last season he did score 11 Premier League goals, adding 5 assists. This season he already has 6 Premier League goals and adding 3 assists.
So that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Very, very good start actually.
Yeah.
Only Erling Haaland has more goals than him in the Premier League this season. So, of course, he has been speaking about the coach and praising him for how he sets up the team and how he's given him confidence to shine.
Literally anything is possible, but honestly, the manager just says take it game by game because things can change very, very quickly. So every meeting, every training session, everyone's just at 100%. So like I said, I give props to the team. It's not an easy thing to do. Everyone can suddenly become big-headed, but for us, we're just like, stay grounded and do what we do.
Okay, so we're going to the Champions League, but I'm very excited because Arsenal is playing today, right?
They'll be playing against Slavia Praha.
Yeah. We should beat them, Kra.
Oh, yeah. It's supposedly an easy fixture. The only problem is Striker Victor Gyökeres is injured. There are a number of players also out of the game, like Martinelli. Of course, Gabriel Jesus is still injured. There's Odegaard who is injured. There's Havertz who is injured. There's Zubimendi who is suspended for this game as well. So a number of people who will be out for Arsenal. But it is a game that expectedly Arsenal should win.
Yeah.
The biggest game of the night will be between Liverpool and Real Madrid. That's the headline fixture. There's also PSG versus Bayern Munich. That's also a very big fixture as well. And some other very interesting fixtures like Tottenham hosting Copenhagen. Of course, Mohamed Kudus will definitely be one player to watch in that game, and we expect Manchester City to be in action against Borussia Dortmund as well. And so very, very nice fixtures on Tuesday night, but the blockbuster one will be between Liverpool and Real Madrid. There's also Atletico Madrid versus Union Saint-Gilloise as well. There's Olympiacos versus PSV. There's Bodo Glimt versus Monaco, Juventus versus Sporting as well. And so these are the fixtures that will be happening on Tuesday, and Napoli versus Eintracht.
I mean, if I was getting the opportunity to watch, aside all the top, I think I would love to watch Bayern and
PSG.
Yeah.
That would be a good match, actually.
Yeah, I think.
Very good match.
Yeah, it would be very interesting.
Yeah.
But beyond that, there's the CAF Interclub.
Yes, unfortunately, we don't have any Ghanaian team in there. They released the draw yesterday. And if Kotoko had beaten with that, they would have been part of the draw. And if BBNE Gold Stars had also won their games, they would have been also part of the draw. So we have seen a draw which features mostly the North African teams and some teams who will be battling for the biggest crown in African interclub football.
Yes, what else do you need to know, Bill?
Of course, for a lot more updates from the world of sports, you can check out 3 Sports GH on all social media platforms. I'm talking about X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube for more long-form content. And also on the website at www.3news.com/sports.
And you're back at 10:30, right?
Yep.
Yes, so
For
see you at
Sports Daily.
10:30. Yes, thank you very much, Billy Shan, for bringing us the latest in sports. Of course, stay with us. When we come back, we'll bring you some more. Children are being abused across the country, and we're joined in studio now by Bright Apia. He's the Executive Director of Child's Rights International. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
It's great to see you after a very long time.
Yes.
We speak on phone and via Zoom, but yes, this is the first time we're meeting in a very long time. I hope you're well.
Welcome to TV3.
Yes. Thank you. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
I mean, no child deserves to be abused in any form.
Exactly.
But like I just said, there are reports coming out that we are seeing increasing numbers of children who are being abused across the country. First off, if you can tell us what the data is saying.
Well, the data outlook suggests that yes, there are cases that there are cases of abuse across the country. And for instance, if you come to our office, what we've done over the years, the last count that we had for this particular quarter is about 35 cases of abuse that we are handling. That is just our office alone. So you look at the issue at the national level. When it comes to the national level, it's only DOSU that do have a very comprehensive data on children. So if you look at, let's go back a bit to look at 2020, 2021, 2022, 23 and 24, then clearly give you a clear picture of what is happening. So when you look at 2020, we did a formal system. These are the reported cases to DOFSU. In 2020, we had 16,586 cases.
Wow.
Reported. That is within the formal system. And then around 2020, we had lockdown. So clearly, you can, if you want to juxtapose that with people staying at home.
Of course, there were reports during that period that
there were a lot of
pressure increased during lockdown because then people were getting a lot more time staying together, etc.
Exactly. So it means that abuse, took place a lot during that time within the family system itself. Without necessarily looking at it from external people committing those offenses. And the record that we also have shows clearly that there's a lot of abuse that happened within the family system. So you look at 2021, there was a bit of drop to 14,000, 580 something, And then in 2022, there was also a bit of, we came to 13,000. Then in 2023, there was a sharp curve of 15,000, going up again. And then
almost getting to the 16,000 that we
almost
had
getting to the 16,000. It's almost, let's say 14,816. So it's almost like the 15,816. So it's almost like the 16,000. And then you come to 2024, where there's a little drop to 14,046. So clearly, if you put it together, in terms of the reported cases, you can say that there's a little bit of decline in terms of how people are abusing. But you cannot necessarily say that they are not abusing, but it's an issue of reporting. And the good news that I'm so comfortable with has to do with how we respond, the formal system respond to some of these abuses. So when you go to DOFSU, most of the cases that they have reported on, they have also executed it to the latter in terms of the prosecution.
And we'll go into that in terms of the response from DOFSU. And I did say that when I said it's been a long time since we met, you and I have worked on a number of stories over the years, from defilement to all sort of abuse of children in rural areas and across the country as well. You talk about 16,000, now the numbers have reduced. If you can tell us in which forms these abuse take place in the numbers that you've given us.
So if you look at the leak in terms of the number of cases, you see assault as a leading case against children. There's a lot of assault cases against children. And the non-maintenance, these are the two major issues, abuse cases that affect children. And non-maintenance also brings about multiple abuse cases, where children will not go to school, where children will not even find a comfortable place to sleep, where cases of divorce and other things would affect the state of the children and all that. So clearly, it's something that we cannot just take for granted, because I'm emphasizing on it because it's just a matter of saying that it's no maintenance. But when you go into details, you realize that it would also give birth to all kinds of abuse cases within the family system. You know, and unfortunately for us, if you look at the data right from 2020 to 2024, deferment is almost around 9, 10 thereabouts in terms of the cases that affect children, and even rape cases is
9, 10. What does that mean?
In terms of when you rank the cases, you rank issues that children go through when it comes to abuse.
And 9 is the highest?
Yes. No, like they are on the 9th position.
Okay.
Deferment is 9th on the league, but the first one is assault, and the second is non-maintenance, and then the rest follows. So that is the kind of abuse cases that children go through and all that. Yeah.
And when you talk about assault, I want you to also break it down for us, because there could be verbal assault, there could be people pouring hot water on children.
Exactly.
We've heard. So which specific
I use the word assault because of the harm aspect of it, because anything that you do to a child that causes harm to the child, it's one of the things that. So there's a lot of different cases, like just as you've mentioned. There are people who insult children, and there are people who cause emotional issues against the child, and there are people who cause physical harm to them. All manner of things, like what happened in Nima and other places and all that. So there is a lot of things that happens to children, even within the school system, the family, and even friends. And one of the things I've also realized is that there's a lot of abuse happening between a child to child, which sometimes they do it at the blind side, or they are not aware of the effect of what they are doing.
Is it bullying in schools?
Bullying is no. You see, the bullying is a very intentional act of people. It's not that they are not aware of it. They intentionally do it because of what they've been through, what they've been taught, or what they've experienced from other people, and they feel like they are seniors, so they can exhibit that. Or based on how they've been treated at home, they feel like they can also do that against their own colleagues and all that. So clearly, bullying, I will not put it in that category when it comes to child issues, because there are certain harm that children cause to their colleagues that they are not aware of the effect, because the children experience that. So, for instance, a child experiences certain kind of issues from the home, and they feel like they want to rehearse it, let me put it that way, on their own colleagues to see the effect of it, so that they will feel good about themselves, So at the end of the day, in doing so, they cause harm to the children, other children, and they will also begin to learn. And the effect of it is that when a child goes through abuse, the child also wants to unleash that to another person, and that for me is the danger.
That's the cyclical effect.
Exactly. So if we don't stop it at a point, then it means that we're going to have a whole generation going through that. And when a whole generation goes through a certain process of, acquire certain behavior, then with time, it becomes the norm. And that is where it becomes difficult for you to deal with it. And and if you look at even maintenance or rehabilitation of abused children, it's very costly. And it's not an area that the state want to put money in, because to rehabilitate a child who has gone through abuse will cost the state more than 5 million Ghana cedis to be able to do it.
Oh, how so?
Even if it want, no, there's a research on that. So if you really want to do a proper rehabilitation on a child, you don't need a one treatment to be able to do that. You need a continuous treatment. So if, for instance, you start with 5 million, then some of them, their recovery is very slow. It can cost the state about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years to be able to rehabilitate a particular child. So it's not an area that you want to put your investment in. So I always say that for us to deal with this, we'd have to look at the prevention rather than putting a lot of children in our social safety net because we want to treat them. Because the treatment is very expensive, and I'm not sure that the state would have that resources to be able to do that. But for us to protect our children, I think that we have to look at our social safety, the entry point of our social safety net, and deal with a lot of issues before we allow them to enter into the safety net.
And again, we'll go into the solutions bit, but of course you mentioned that the data or the statistics have gone down, but how bad is it? Because it goes beyond the numbers, isn't it?
It goes beyond the numbers. So this is just the numbers showing that. And I'm laying emphasis on the fact that they are reported cases, but there are also some kind of systems within a rural area that do not allow people to report matters. Issues go unreported. And the family system try to sit around the issue and then deal with it at their level. So those things are not captured. The only one that are captured is when people find the need to report it, even though the family have decided to resolve it and all that. So clearly, in terms of the issues, I would say that they are on the rise because of the way and manner our system is structured, where people don't find the need to report and they want to deal with it at the family level. And because of also our social structure, where my friend is in another town, or I live in the same community, these are my neighbors, family share the same household, and they commit offenses, they feel that, one, they want to hold the family dignity, so they don't want anybody to know that is what the family is going to. So therefore, if it is a family-to-family affair, then they want to sit around the table to resolve it. So matters of that nature do not even get to the system at all. You see a situation where people have been defiled, gone to abuse, and then the whole community or the chief of the area will just decide that, oh, okay, this is an abomination that has been committed against the community. Therefore, this is the punishment that you have to go through for doing that. Though it's a criminal case, you don't also see some of these issues entering. And I believe that it is as a result of it, that's why we see a lot of abuse. Because it takes confidence for somebody to commit certain type of abuse against children, especially when it comes to defilement and rape. Because
they know they will not be dealt with.
They will not be dealt with. If they know the consequences or the effect of their actions, I think that it will deter them from doing that. And that is where I feel that our system has not really responded to how we should handle matters of this nature.
So we haven't done enough in terms of the system?
Yes, of course. I think that the system is not really, because I always say that the byproduct of any system should be able to also do an advocacy, in the sense that people must be aware that when they commit this offense, this is the kind of punishment that they will face, so that it will deter them from doing that. But if you haven't gotten to a level where the system can give us enough issues to raise as an advocacy tool, then the system is not doing what is expected.
I will come back for us to continue with our conversation and perhaps the solutions that you've seen, because you even started talking about DOFSU and what DOFSU is doing. But I want us to hit the street and hear some of you speaking to us, really, your thoughts on this matter.
As an activist, what I'll encourage the public to do is that even if it is your child, you've given birth to your child, but you don't have some certain right over the child. You don't deprive the child some certain right. And the fact that you are the parent doesn't mean that if the child did something wrong, you can, molest, beat, or whatsoever, to the extent of even pouring hot water or something on the child. No, it's abuse, and it is against the fundamental human right of the child. And situations like this, when you are caught, bear in mind that the law will take you on.
This world that we are, the schedules and the work and stuff, we have been so busy to extend that even our children, sometimes we have to leave them to a nanny or someone around or someone that stays in the house to take care of the child for you, whilst means you are away. But I think that is not the best way. As a parent, you have to make sure that your child is fine before you leave.
Parents should not leave their children in the care of maids, but should make time, despite their busy schedules, to take care and groom their kids, just like how the older generations took care of their kids.
One of the ways that child rights abuse can be curbed in our community is by increasing the education, in school, so that they get to, they are exposed to some of the dangers and some of the things that are out there.
Most parents are so busy with work, going, coming forth and all that, and that results in those things. And especially, let's say if they've got caretakers at home, you can't actually rely on them. Some of them are not trustworthy, I would say. Parents should try and adjust, work and taking care of their kids.
You expressing your views there with us. Mr. Bright Pia is still in the studio with us. He's Executive Director, Charles Wright International. Mr. Pia, I mean, the last two people who spoke, the gentleman who talked about ensuring that we are teaching this in our schools, and then the lady talking about how busy parents are nowadays and not having time. I'm just wondering what you think about the views expressed.
Yes, you see, it boils down to the advocacy that you're talking about. Yes, we are all aware that definitely parents will be busy doing certain things, one thing or the other. That is why the state should be interested in also regulating the environment so that parents just do not leave their children to any ordinary person for care, but the system itself would compel parents to take certain measures to leave their children to someone who is ready and has the capacity to do that. Because when you go to advanced countries, parents are very busy, but it's not easy for you to see parents deciding that they want to leave their child behind.
And it's very expensive outside.
It's very expensive because, you see, it's a way of also creating a job for somebody to do, knowing that the person can give you that professional charge in terms of the care that the child needs. So it is part of the advocacy that we need to do. And the state must be interested in. You see, the state is always looking at the protection bit of child protection, without necessarily looking at the preventive aspect. You can do so without spending so much by legislating on certain programs that will compel parents to take certain action. Because if you look at the Children's Act, for instance, it situates a child within the family unit system.
Yes.
So it means that the state itself recognizes that you cannot downplay the role of the family unit. And so because of that, legally, you have given them that mandate to do that. And if you have given that mandate and you feel that like they are not doing what is expected, then it is the responsibility of the state to even step in to develop more laws, to strengthen the very structure, to be able to give us the best that we want to see. But if we are not doing that, then the outcome is what we are seeing, which clearly shows that, yes, we are not doing exactly what is expected of us. So policy formulations, I strongly believe that policy on parenting need to be introduced in our system because of the way work is taking attention of a parent, work is taking attention of even people who are taking care of, because some of them don't even have the capacity to do that. Because one of the things that you need to be able to provide care for a child is that commitment and patience. Because children at a certain level, you cannot just control them. And most of it also, most of the abuse, especially when it comes to assault, is as a result of people not having patience, to be able to provide care. And they feel that the child needs to be restricted. You go to certain homes, they give them medications so that they can have the free environment to do whatever they want to do. So those are the issues that I feel we should deal with as a country. And once we are able to do that, we would also make the system run effectively. So, for instance, I have done audit of DOFSU at our level, and we realize that if you look at cases that come to them, compared to the capacity, and also the resources that they have available to deal with it, I will be unfair, to say that they are not doing a lot, because 16,000 to deal with it in a system, and it's about children, it's not easy to handle.
And earlier you were mentioning that they're actually prosecuting each case to the end. If you can give us details about that.
In very difficult situations. I have been to some of the area DOFSU offices, and sometimes we have to provide assistance. But I think
what kind of assistance?
Oh, it's financial, it's technical. Sometimes they will need a vehicle to go to certain rural communities, and they don't. And since we are working in those areas, it's part of our work, not because we want to do it, but it's part of the work. So we have to also assist them to be able to go to those rural communities to arrest those people. And in cases that we did that, the court was able to give some of them 25 years, 16 years, 7 years and all that because of the offense that they've committed. So just imagine that the system is putting those measures in place to aid them to do what is expected. I'm sure by now we will not be speaking the same language as we are doing now. But I think that we need to strengthen the system. But it also comes back to how the gender ministry also want to handle things. Because as a ministry, and the reason why I'm saying this, because if you look at social welfare, Department of Social Welfare, its original mandate, there's always a shift from the original mandate of social welfare.
Yeah.
At this level, they are saying that they are policy makers. But nowhere in the world that you see a social welfare department, saying that they are policymakers. They are
supposed
implementers.
To be protecting juveniles as well.
Exactly. So if you are a policymaker, who are you making the policy to implement? So you should rather be in the forefront of making your policies, follow up, monitor, and make sure that people do not abuse the very mandate that have been given to you. And that, for me, is where I see that we are running away from our original mandate because of the resources that are not available. So we want to make sure that we define ourselves in where we are comfortable with and then do whatever it is that we can do. Then that ends it. But I think that we have to go back to look at the original mandate of the Department of Social Welfare and equip them to be able to do what is expected of them.
I want to take you back a little bit. You mentioned abuses, like you mentioned NEMA. In the data you have, do you have specific areas where these abuses are very high, and what kind of circumstances are in those, aside from the family setting?
Well, yes, there are areas that there's a lot of abuse, and I don't know what is associated with that, but if you look at the fishing areas, there's a lot of abuse going on, especially teenage pregnancy is so high in those areas. Sexual abuse is very high in those areas, and then also you look at the homes. There's a lot of abuse that goes on in the home, and that takes place is relational kind of abuse. And that is not, I'm not saying that parent, but there are maybe uncles are abusing and sleeping with the kids at home and all that. And for me, it's a bit, it's an issue for me because that environment is so close that it is very difficult for you to do any investigation compared to somebody coming from outside to do that and all that. And then there are areas also, like you go to some professional institutions like the hospitals, there's all kinds of abuse going on against children. I don't know why it is that, but we have not done a proper investigation to find out those elements that is contributing to that. But at the appropriate time, we'll carry out some of these things too. And then you go to mining areas too, you see a lot of abuse of children going on there. And that, for me, is something that we should show concern about.
And briefly before you go, I know that recently you sued the government over street children. Yes. I was telling you earlier that we still have a lot of children on our streets now. Just wanted to find out what you're doing about it, even update on the court.
Yes, we are still on the case. The Supreme Court gave their decision and directed us to do the right thing in terms of the appropriate forum for us to do that. And we sat down with the lawyers and realized that it's not just an easy road. So we have to gather our data properly. We are done with that, and I'm sure at the appropriate time we will still hit back to the court to do that, because we believe that the approach that the state has used over the years in dealing with street children is not helping, because as we speak, they are back. Yes. At the point you see social welfare doing rescuing, you see police doing rescuing. Now it's the immigration service. We don't know whether GRA will be the next institution to do that. So we want to make sure that we get a decision from the court that will direct how we need to take care of our children.
Ms. Appiah, final words.
Well, I would urge parents that they should play their role, because if the child will go out and exhibit a different behavior, it shows that there's something wrong in the house. So I would urge parents that they should be mindful of their kids and they should listen to their children. If they do, they will know that there's a lot of things going on in their lives. Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Bright Appiah, Executive Director, Child's Rights International, for joining us in studio to have this conversation. Thank you. Yes, and if it's your birthday today, we want to help you celebrate the day and to wish you well. I know a number of you are celebrating your birthday. Perhaps we should wish the former mayor of Accra, Alfred Okovandopo, a very happy birthday. But of course, Mami Esi Nyameche, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Mid-morning show host, Plus 89.9 FM. From your loved ones, happy birthday to you. Patience Mariama Nate, happy birthday to you. Ajwa Enchiwa Asante, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Dixon Kumi Ejakwa, happy birthday to you. Mickey Dollar, happy birthday to you, young man. Anthony Kofi, happy birthday to you. Kofi Obin Chebwa Jr., happy birthday to you, young man.
Wisdom Cobbler, happy birthday to you, sir. Abina Amponsa, happy birthday to you, madam. WO1 Latte, happy birthday to you, officer. Auntie Comfort, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Have an amazing day. Okay, we've already done Dixon, happy birthday. Eugenia Eninfo, happy birthday to you, ma'am. Margaret Ohimi Cheneboa, happy birthday, madam.
And special birthday greetings go to Papa Novo. We love you, Coco, from your parents and the entire family. Happy birthday. Irene Joybin of Pink Ribbons Enterprise Tamale. God bless you exceedingly. Happy birthday from Osman Mubarak. And Roland Walker. Oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. Jacqueline. Oh, Jacqueline is a rugby player. She's the only rugby player I know in Ghana.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Jacqueline, happy birthday, Jacqueline. Wishing you good health and more. Kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All right. Also, happy birthday wishes going out to you, Gideon. Wishing you more blessings and happiness from Leslie. Especially going out to you, Gideon. Patrick Adolfo, member of the NDC Communications team. Happy birthday to you from the MP for Asunafo North. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Miss Tampo for happy birthday.
Also going out to you, Emmanuel Dramani Musa. May the good Lord bless you and keep you from Mrs. Lydia Opoku to you.
Mr. Charles Dex, happy birthday, sir. Okay, so that's actually the last birthday.
Right. The last birthday for today. Well, if it's your birthday today and we didn't send you shouts, you forgive us. And we're wishing you a very happy birthday. We send you mega shouts, mega shouts.
Indeed.
Mega shouts.
And remember that hunger can strike at any time, but Royal Cane Cracker is always on standby when you need something enjoyable to munch on. Royal Cane Cracker brings the crunch and the buttery taste. It fits right into your day, morning, noon, or night. Royal Cane Cracker. Take choke your hunger. That's it, right?
Take choke your hunger.
Oh, take choke your hunger.
So you're too English. You're too English. You're too European. Take choke your hunger. Yeah.
I'm learning broken English. Yes, just grab one and enjoy. This advert is FDA approved. And I think that will be our show, for today. Yes.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes.
With another edition of TV3 Newday. Thank you so much for watching us today, and do enjoy the rest of our programs. My name is Nash Shako. Roland was here earlier with us. And
yes. My name is Paige Sedu. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of our programs.